Welcome back to Coding Goblin. We're going to create an alert component in Vue JS using Tailwind. Really easy to do. First thing we're going to do is create a component. So come down to our components folder and we're going to create a new file called Alert.vue. Really simple. And now come to our app and we're just going to import it. So import alert from components alert.vue, and then we're going to use it down here. We're just going to say alert. Okay, step one done. Now we're getting that error because there's nothing in our alert component. So we're just going to put our script setup tag here, and then we're going to put a template. And now that should disappear if we put something in there. I might need to restart that, and that should be fine now. We should get that displaying in here. There we go, perfect. We're going to make this a reusable component. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a bit of data that we're going to pass to the component. So we're going to define our props here. So we're going to say const props equals define props. So you can do this with props or slots. So I'm going to show you both ways. So we'll start with props. So we're going to have a couple of bits of information that we're going to send. So we're going to send a title, we'll call it title. So that's going to be the main title of the alert. So that's going to be a string. And then we'll send content, which is just going to be the little paragraph, which is also a string. You can call these whatever you want. So if we go back to our app and come here, we can say title, well, we'll do this. We'll say colon title equals title, and then we can define our title up here. So we can say const title equals, then we can do our string, which is a title, the title, and then we can do the same for our content. So if we say content, we say the content, and then we can pass that here as well. Content equals content. Save that, and then if we come here, and we can just see that that data is coming through. So we go title, save, we'll see the title, and then we put content, we'll see the content. So that's working. So now we can look at building out our alert component. So we're just going to be using Tailwind classes to do this. So the first thing we're going to do is just add a background color so we can actually see it, so we can see what we're working with. Class equals background, and we'll say indigo 500, and we're going to say this is our alert here. So right, so it's very basic so far. So we're just going to work our way through and add the concept that we need. So we're going to want these three elements. We're going to want to have a little icon, and we're just going to use an exclamation mark icon. We're going to use that from hero icons. We want the title and we want the content. So icon, and then we want title and content. So what we need, firstly, are two divs. So this is for the icon, and then this is going to be next to it, and it's going to be for the title and content. So we want these to be flex items. So if we say here, flex, so this is our flex container, and this is going to be item 1, which is the icon, and item 2, which is the title and content. So we save that, and we can see them all next to each other, and it looks horrible at the moment. So let's just start going through and fleshing this out a bit. So we can add a bit of padding. So if we add some padding to the X, so we're going to say for py, py, we'll do 6. We can change these, of course. We're going to say rounded, make it look a little bit nicer. See the rounded there? And now we're going to go and find an icon. So hero icons, and we want an exclamation mark. That will do. Copy the SVG, and we're going to pop that in there. Just tidy it up a little bit. Save that, and we come back here. We can see we've got that there. And if we inspect element, we can see what's going on with the flex So let's have a little look here. So you can see we've got our two flex items here. So we want to give a little bit of a gap between them. So if we say gap 4, we get that gap there. Again, you can adjust these however you want. This is just me going along and adding it as I want it, really, just making it up as I go along. So now we're going to have our title here. We're going to make that H3. So we're going to add our prop here, title, and then underneath that we want our content, which we'll put in a p tag, and we'll say content. Oops, content. Save. Not bad at all. So I'm going to change the font color here. So we're going to say font or text white, should I say? We're going to do the same for our icon. And we're going to make the title bold. So we're going to say font bold. Now, if we add a bit more content, we can make it look a little bit more realistic. Oh, well done. But, there we go. So it's coming together. Now, I've probably said this about 12 times already. This is personal preference. You might think that looks rubbish. I think it looks alright. Like little tweaks you can make as you go. I would probably change the Y padding to be a bit less. Looks a bit better already. But that is pretty good. I mean, I don't really know what more you'd want to do to that. You can get fancy. You can put a border on it if you want, but you don't really need to do anything else to it. I mean, look, shadow maybe. Is that even doing anything? I can't see that, but you get the point. So that's how you would do it if you're using props. Now, let's have a look if you wanted to do it using slots, which is probably a better way of doing it, really. So let's make a new alert. We're just going to duplicate this one. And we'll just adapt it slightly. So we're going to call this alert slots. And we're going to close that, and we're going to import that here instead of the standard one. And we're going to say alert slots, and then we're going to do that. Okay, so now if we minimize that, come to our alert slots. We don't need the props, and we will have a slot for the icon as well. So I'm just going to cut that, and I'm going to replace it with a named slot. So we're going to say slot name equals icon. And then we come here and we say template hash icon. So this is how you use name slots. And we're just going to paste the icon in there. And then come back to our alert, and we're going to replace the title with a slot, another name slot, should I say? And we're going to say slot name equals title, and then we're going to do the same for the content as well. So we're going to say slot name equals content. Save that. Come back to our app.vue, and now we're going to say template hash title, and then we can say this is the title. And we're going to do the same for the content. This is the content. And this is some more text. Okay, save that. And that is working. So that's how you do it with slots. I would probably opt to do it with slots because it makes it a lot easier to see what you're doing. It might look a bit messy here, but it comes down to preference at the end of the day. There are going to be times when you're going to need to use props. If you're getting data from a server, for example, it will probably make more sense to use props. But if you're doing it like this, where you're just typing in your text yourself, use slots. That's my opinion on it. Someone who is more intelligent than me may have a different opinion. If you can't be bothered to make this for yourself, you can use a component library which will do all the hard work for you, and it will look a lot prettier than what I've just created. I'll pop a link in the description if you want to check out Tailkit, which is a very good component library which I've been using, and I highly recommend it. Thanks for watching. The end.